regress right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's better to stop with what we do know about science rather than invent some imaginary creator.
Yes, it's certainly much better to do that. And the idea of the intelligent alien is a very unparsimonious idea, but it's not a totally ridiculous idea like God is.
Now, you have a mission, I think, if I can use that term, probably not a good one, to wake people up to the dangers of religion today. And one of the things that you've done is a BBC series that we haven't seen, unfortunately, in this country, called The Root of All Evil.
Not BBC, Channel 4.
Channel 4.
It's the rival company.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
And it was called The Root of All Evil.
Root of All Evil.
With a question mark.
Yes.
About religion.
Yes.
And you go around the world. You come to America, and you go to Jerusalem, and you talk with religionists all over. It's a very powerful series. And I wonder if you could talk a little bit about it.
We had to go to Iceland in order to see it.
That's right. It's a two-hour documentary. It was shown on 2 successive weeks on Channel 4 in Britain in January 2006. And I'm actually doing another one now, which is to be shown in January 2007, which is provisionally called The Rational Inquirer, which is about not religion this time, but all the other kinds of irrationality, like telepathy and homeopathy and water divining and that's that kind of thing, psychics and psychokinesis and stuff. Anyway, Root of All Evil with a question mark. The question mark was the sole concession I managed to wring out of Channel 4. I actually hated the title Root of All Evil because I don't believe that religion is the root of all evil. Nothing is the root of all anything. But on the other hand, root of quite a lot of evil is not a very catchy title. So they gave me a question mark, which was a rather unsatisfactory compromise. It's in 2 episodes. In the first episode, I traveled, as you say, to America, to Colorado. I interviewed Pastor Ted Haggard of Colorado Springs, who runs one of these terrifying mega churches with rock music and flashing lights and all the techniques, as I told him, of a Goebbels Nuremberg rally. Then I went to, he threw us out. He threw the camera crew and me out of the church and threatened to seize our film.
Makes for good TV.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, the camera wasn't running when he threw us out.
Oh.
We went to Lourdes and looked at the Catholic pilgrims there going to dunk themselves in filthy water. And we went to Jerusalem and talked to the chief mufti, the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, the chief Muslim there, and an influential Jew, and another man who was a complete, a really dangerously nuts character, who had been a Jew in America. He was an American Jew who'd converted to Islam. And we interviewed him because we thought he would give a sort of, would see both sides of the Jewish-Muslim question, how wrong we were. I mean, he was the most rabid, fanatical Muslim you could possibly imagine. And that scene is, well, he was sort of accusing me of not dressing my women properly and things like that.
You know what struck me about looking at all those different interviews you did was how absolutely certain each one of those people was and is about the rightness of their views and how wrong everyone else.
That is correct.
Look at their faces, you know. Yeah.
That is faith. I mean, that's what it's about, and they're completely implacable. Nothing would ever move them, and they would admit it. I mean, they would agree.
Certitude in the face of no evidence.
Yes.
And what do you think is the prospects for? What is the prospect for enlightening the world? I mean, we seem to be on the verge of a new disenlightenment.
Well, yes, it is certainly tempting to take such a pessimistic view, but I think we've got to keep. I don't like to use the word fighting; it sounds too aggressive, but to keep struggling. And I'm actually quite encouraged by the sales figures that I quoted earlier of Sam Harris's and my books. Sam's Letter to a Christian Nation is, I believe, at the moment number 2 in Amazon.com's bestseller list.
Wow.
And my own God Delusion is number 2 in the British Amazon list.
That's wonderful.
And mine's pretty high in the American one as well. So I do think that there's a possible indication that things aren't as bad as we feared, and that although books like Francis Collins and Ann Coulter's also make the bestseller lists, they're not the only ones. I mean, we're doing all right, and maybe there'll be others that will too.
Well, you have been a great champion of free thinking and reason, and we're very appreciative that you made time in your very busy schedule to talk with us today. And we'll have more information for listeners about the God Delusion.
And his speech that he prepared for our convention is online at after 2001.
Yes, The Time to Stand Up can be found at our website, ffrf.org. It's a wonderful speech. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much indeed.